Hello, online pipe community. Ethan, parsimonious piper here, and it is Cobb Tuesday. Got my Cobb Tuesday cob. Got my Cobb Tuesday hat. This week's cob is a Missouri Meerschaum, 5th Avenue shape Diplomat. Unfinished. Got that from Aristocob, who sadly is no longer in business. He was my source for naked cobs. It's increasingly difficult to find them on Missouri Meerschaum's website. They want to plaster over the things. In this, I have got some of Hearth and Home's 10 to Midnight. Now, this is listed as a Balkan, and yes, it is Latakia, Turkish, and Virginia's. And yes, the Orientals do shine, as they should in a Balkan. In fact, this is definitely not a Latakia bomb, but it's also not an Oriental bomb, so to speak. They bounce back and forth, vying for that top position. Neither one of them ever completely disappears, but they take turns kind of in the lead as to what you immediately taste. Virginia's in the background, as Virginia should be. My favorite Balkan doesn't have Virginia's in it at all. So where would I rate this? It's a tasty blend. It's still only going to get a 3 out of 5 on my scale. Why? Not because it's not good. It's very good. And some of you are really going to love this if you like a Balkan where the Latakia doesn't overpower. But I still like C&D's Byzantium, the aforementioned Balkan that has no burley or Latakia in it. I still like that best. And I like Seattle Pipe Club's Plum Pudding just a hair more than this. So I wouldn't be buying any more of this, at least not now. But it is rather good. And if you have tried plum pudding and don't like that, or you want something that has a little more of the Oriental tang competing with the Latakia, this just might be up your alley. It really is a very good blend. Hearth and Home, of course, the brainchild of Russ Willett there at, well, Sutliff blends it, but at Pipes and Cigars. Fantastic stuff. It really is. It really is very good. Muletown last weekend was just a blast. I got to tell you, if you have not been to a pipe show and met up with some of your online pipe friends, you have got to make the time. Save the vacation days and the money, whatever it takes, to at least make one. Find the one that's closest to you. Chat it up with guys and make sure you have a way to connect, that kind of thing. I tell you what, it's worth it. This weekend, the people I got to chat with and share a bowl with ranged from old timers who no longer present, guys like Gamecock Piper, Desert Pine and his brother Mr. Scripto, guys who don't present very often, like Knight and Willie, Nashville Mafia, to guys who are really relatively new, guys like Pipe and a Pour and Chad Griffin, also a pipe carver. For those of you who don't follow him, he has a unique style and good engineering. But lots of guys in that vein, and then some of the guys who have been around about the same time as I have, like Captain Kirk. Some experienced guys who are still presenting, Eric, Blue Collar, and so on and on. Flat Cap and Lady Fire were there, and Society of Ordinary Gentlemen, and Kentucky Highland Piper. And I know I'm gonna, I can't list everybody because I will start to forget if I even try. But just the variety of people that you will run into, absolutely fantastic. And getting to share a bowl with them, or two, just a lot of fun. Now, of course, it's also a blast looking through the tables, and I got a little bit of video of that. I got to tell you, I'm still doing a bad job of covering pipe shows because I'm spending far too much time having fun smoking with people and not enough time getting them on camera. I did, however, get at least a little bit of a walk around inside the sales room. I'll put that at the end of the video. Let me show you the things that I found for me. One, I very rarely ever find a pipe by Lee. They're not very common. But one of the estate vendors there recognizes me now, and I don't even have to ask him if he's got any pipes by Lee. This time, as I was walking toward his table, he hollered out to me and said, "Yes, I have one," and helped me dig through one of his bins of estate pipes until we found it. Now, we found it in the $5 bin, and that's because the pipe is damaged. If you take a look, looks pretty good here. Looks pretty good there. Those look like 3 stamped stars. It's got a couple of fills, that kind of thing. And the push stem, this comes out nicely enough. All of that's just fine. However, the front of the bowl looks like somebody took a Dremel to it. Look at that gouge. Get that over closer to the camera. Isn't that something else? I have no idea what would possess you to do that to an otherwise lovely pipe. So I am going to see whether I can sand through that. It was a $5 pipe. If I can sand through that and refinish it, or if I'm going to have to send it off to somebody like Tim West, who can do it for me professionally. I may do a combination. I may sand it down a little bit and let him finish it off, but just for practice. But yeah, for $5, even if I throw in Tim's repair cost, by the time I get it back, it'll be a perfect pipe and well worth the total that I have paid for it. At any rate, let's see, what else did I find? Oh, at the St. Louis show, I was looking for leather goods, and there were no leather vendors there. This time, there was, and it was a gal that I interviewed a year ago or 2 years ago. Very briefly. And Mahurin Bespoke Works. This time she had what I was looking for, which is a small or medium-sized pipe tray. I was recently gifted a large one, and it is getting quite a bit of use already, but I wanted one that would roll up in my pipe roll. And so this one jumped out at me. Let me snap that up so you can see its usable dimension. Now, once you get that all folded and snapped, that's still a decent size. And you can see it's the width of the cob. That's a good 5-6 inches across. That will fold up and roll very nicely. So that one is going in my pipe roll. Now, gifts. I was imposing on people 1 ounce samples of my 2 blends, the Secondhand Bookshop and the Haunted Hatchards. Other folks were walking around giving stuff out. I happen to be using one of those. Don't know if you can read that. That is Kentucky Highland Piper. Since wrist cob's out of business, it is nice to have a source of official engineered cob tampers. He gave me 2. One will go on display. This one's going to get a heck of a lot of use. But speaking of tampers, I also got this wonderful Larry Blackett tamper from Eric Blue Collar. So you can see that. That is just, it's the perfect size for a pocket tamper. It will likely become my new daily. Thank you, Eric. Last and most definitely not least, Mr. Scripto came up to me and handed me a set. Now, Scripto, did you make these? Because I absolutely love them. He gave me a tamper, whether by him or someone else, that is handmade. Nice sharp point, 357 shell. That's a good size. Very nice. And a leather pipe roll. This one is made of a slightly more flexible leather. That is going to roll up very nicely. So that one's definitely going in the pipe roll too. And then a pipe tray, a small, this one, you can see it's not, the usable area is a little smaller. But it's not really small in that width direction. It's nice in the other. And once I get that broken in, that's going to go in one of my pipe bags. That will fit just perfectly in there. So, I mean, I cleaned up here. Thank you so much, Crypto. Those are definitely going to get a lot of use. The portable stuff is becoming more and more useful to me. Things that I can take along with me either in the car, when I'm the Miata when I'm driving around with my top down, or taking them to shows and meetups. It's nice to have portable stuff like that's easy to take with you. So thank you, gents. Well, I'm gonna get this lit. Smoke that bowl down. Y'all, light something you like. Might be a nice Oriental forward Balkan. Enjoy the afternoon.